From explosive, bone-crushing tackles to mind-blowing, heart-pounding interceptions, these are the 8 best cornerbacks in NFL history. Number 8. Darrell Green. Green's one of the fastest players in NFL history, and speed definitely comes in handy if you want to cover receivers. Green spent 20 seasons with the Washington Redskins and played at a very high level until his retirement at age 42. I guess that's why they called him the Ageless Wonder. Green won 2 Super Bowl rings with the Redskins and was selected for the Pro Bowl first team 7 times. He was a stunning player and a nightmare for even the fastest wide receivers.
Midfield by Charles Woodson.
He even holds the record for the most consecutive seasons with an interception, as he intercepted at least 1 ball in 19 consecutive seasons. Speaking of playing at a high level, get a load of this guy. Number 7. Charles Woodson. Woodson played for the Oakland Raiders and the Green Bay Packers for a total of 18 seasons in the NFL. Woodson was the complete package in the cornerback position, with great interceptions and over 1,100 career tackles. He was the 4th pick in the 1998 draft.
Woodson will take it the distance.
And he definitely backed up his draft selection. Woodson played a brilliant rookie season, which earned him the award for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Woodson would go on to be the overall Defensive Player of 2009, and the following year, in 2010, he finally got his Super Bowl ring when the Packers beat the Steelers at Super Bowl 45. Woodson's stellar performances even earned him a spot on the NFL 2000's All-Decade team. Talk about tremendous accomplishments. And it turns out, our next cornerback knows a thing or two about accomplishing big things. Number 6. Mike Haynes. The Patriots and the Raiders enjoyed Mike Haynes' speed, agility, and physicality for 14 seasons. Haynes started out strong. He was an impressive high school athlete, had a great college career at Arizona State, and because of this, he was the first defensive back to be selected in the 1976 draft. After 7 seasons with the Patriots, Haynes signed with the Raiders, who were based in LA back then. He played another 7 seasons with the Raiders and even went on to win the Super Bowl at the end of the 1983 season. Throughout his career, Haynes earned an impressive 9 Pro Bowl selections. A true champion. Speaking of champs, number 5, Champ Bailey. Bailey played for 15 seasons in the NFL. That may not be the longest career ever, but what's truly amazing is how Champ managed to play at an incredibly high level for every one of those 15 seasons. It's fair to say that Bailey was the most important cornerback throughout the 2000s, and he was selected for the Pro Bowl nearly every year that he played in the league. In fact, with 12 selections, Bailey is tied with Ken Houston as the defensive back with the most Pro Bowl selections. Bailey played for the Redskins and the Broncos, where he shined as a complete cornerback. Champ had picture-perfect covering skills, was a beast when it came to tackling, and even holds the record for the most passes defended with an astonishing 203 passes stopped throughout his career. In 2019, Bailey was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which of course was very well deserved. Our next player was so powerful and so fast that he hit you like a freight train. Number 4, Dick Lane. Dick, the Night Train Lane, played for the Rams, the Cardinals, and the Lions. His 14-season career lasted from 1952 to 1965. And amazingly, despite retiring nearly 60 years ago, Lane managed 68 interceptions throughout his time in the NFL. That's the 4th best record ever set. But that wasn't the Night Train's most impressive feat. Lane intercepted no less than 14 times in the 1952 season. Think about it. As a rookie, Lane got 14 interceptions in 12 games. Insane! To this day, not a single player in the NFL has beaten that record, and I doubt anyone ever will. Football has seen some crazy rag-to-riches stories, but few are as inspiring as Dick Lane's. Did you know that when he was a baby, the Night Train was wrapped in newspapers and abandoned in a dumpster? A sad but true story. It's a miracle he even survived. But he did. Dick Lane was hands down one of the toughest players the NFL has ever seen. In the 60s, a tackle to the head or the face was known as a night train necktie. Dick explained that he preferred that type of tackle, saying, "If I hit them in the legs, they may fall forward for a first down. I grab them around the neck so I can go back to the bench and sit down." Nowadays, those kinds of tackles are illegal. But hey, it worked for the night train. Speaking of insanely physical players, number 3, Mel Blount. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, there are few legends more important than Mel Blount. Blount won 4 Super Bowls during his time in Pennsylvania, and the Steelers were the only team he played for during his 14-season NFL career. Back in the 1970s, Mel struck fear into the hearts of every receiver. And with good reason. Rumors swirled that he had killed 2 wide receivers. Luckily, we can now confirm that this never happened. But rumors aside, Mel was an insanely physical player who used his infamous bump-and-run technique to take out receivers. He was a scary guy, so scary that he was responsible for a rule change. That's right, the Mel Blount rule doesn't allow contact with a receiver 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Interestingly, this rule changed the way the cornerback position is played. But apart from his aggressive tackling, Mel is a legend for his insane pace and high-flying interceptions. He was the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year back in 1975 and was selected for the Pro Bowl 5 times. Mel may have suffered from poverty during his youth in Georgia, but with hard work and perseverance, he made it all the way to the NFL Hall of Fame. And since we're on the topic of legendary Hall of Famers, number 2 on our list is Rod Woodson. Rod's nickname was Hot Rod, and he was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame back in 2009. To this day, Hot Rod's considered to be one of the most influential defensive players in football. He holds the NFL record for most interceptions returned for a touchdown. And not only that, he's also the 3rd player with the most interceptions overall. Hot Rod played on a few different teams, spending 4 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens, who even won the Super Bowl with Woodson at the end of the 2000 season. But Hot Rod's mostly remembered for his 9-season stretch with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Woodson is widely regarded as one of the most complete players the NFL has ever seen. A genius when it came to man-to-man coverage, a shark at catching interceptions, and a fantastic tackler. Hot Rod's many qualities earned him the title of NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 1993, as well as 11 Pro Bowl selections. Many would even argue that Woodson should top our list. But you could probably guess who comes next. Number 1, Deion Sanders. Sanders is considered the NFL's best cornerback ever. Sanders is now a college coach for the Colorado Buffaloes, but primetime Sanders has a crazy professional career behind him. He started out with the Falcons back in 1989 and may not have been the best tackler the world has seen, but in his own words, Deion says, "Cornerbacks don't get paid to tackle. They get paid to cover." Neon Deion won 2 consecutive Super Bowls, one with the 49ers and another with the Cowboys the following year. Sanders was a stunning athlete, insanely fast, and a genius at reading any quarterback's intentions. The craziest thing about Sanders, though, is that he managed to do all of this while still maintaining a pro baseball career on the side. That means Sanders holds a couple of very special records. He's the only athlete who's ever competed in both a Super Bowl and a World Series. And not only that, in 1989, primetime Deion Sanders hit a home run and scored a touchdown in less than a week. Absolutely insane! Sanders used to say that football was his wife, baseball was his girlfriend, and I don't know how he did it, but they both seemed quite happy. There you have it, ladies and gents. Those were the 8 best cornerbacks in NFL history.